welcome to another episode of Sessions with Coach April. I'm your host, April Hogan.
And I'm your favorite co-host, Cass Wofford.
Well, I'll let her be the favorite since...
I said favorite co-host.
Yeah, that's true. So I can be the favorite host. All right, so today our topic is going to be about work-life balance. For all you bosses, all you leaders, all you entrepreneurs, career-driven individuals. Let's talk about balance in life, love, happiness, parenting, whatever it is you're trying to balance right now. So before we do that, how are you doing today, Miss Cass?
I am beautiful. I got on my
You
angelic
are
white.
beautiful.
Thank you. So are you. I got on my angelic white, so I feel like I'm ready to ascend to the clouds. Not literally, Lord. Don't take me up out of here. But yeah, I feel good today. I feel really good.
So I feel like if you look at our attire, I'm red, she's white, so I am going to play bad cop. Okay. And she's going to play good cop in this conversation. Now, doesn't mean I won't drop some good stuff, but I kind of want to challenge some of our thoughts.
Okay.
All right. So let's talk about balance first.
Okay.
How do you balance being every hat in your life? Whether that's mother, whether that's relationship, if you are in one, and if you're not dating, then how do you balance dating, along with work?
Okay. I'm not in a relationship at the moment. I am dating, trying to get out there and date. Trying to become emotionally available, but yeah, I'm not dating at the moment. But balancing it is tricky, right? Because you want to be everything for everybody. The first step to balancing it is realizing that you can't be everything for everybody. Ask for help where you need it. I'm trying to get my ex-mother-in-law now, which is my mother-in-law, to move to Florida with me because I'm like, there's just a lot of stuff, and not even in the dating realm, just in the networking realm, right? Like, we've been outside all month of July. Like, we've been out doing stuff. We've been out networking, just events, like just trying to be more present in the community and just like get out there and meet people and connect with people. That's not always easy when you have a 9-year-old child at home. And I'm not one of those parents who are like, oh, your brother can watch you. No, I'm very much like, that's my child. It's my responsibility to find adequate child care for her. Like, I'm not just finna always leave her with her siblings so I can be outside, even if it's for work. So it's realizing that you can't wear every hat all the time. Taking space where you need it. Taking a break where you need it. Resting. Because if you don't rest, your body will force you to rest. And none of us wants that. So that's really my way to find balance, is just listening to my body, being aware of my situations and what I can and can't do, and being realistic about it.
Okay, so if I want to say balancing, this is probably something that I have to retrain my brain all the time because I am a workaholic, like a workaholic. I would say having the right people around you will help pull you out of that because you got to still spend time with your family. You still have to. So she does it. My son Kenneth does it. Like, oh, let's play a game. I really don't want to. I have so much to do. But it is enjoyable because it's having those laughs. So if I want to say balance is realizing that you have to enjoy what you're working towards taking care of. That doesn't mean like work less and play more, but it does mean being able to structure your time and say, okay, I've been working. Work's got to sit for a minute. Yeah. Now let me enjoy the people that love me and that I love. So it is a tricky thing to do, especially when you want success. You tend to find that there's always something to do. Yeah. But always realizing there's still always going to be something to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
So set it down for a minute. Like have some fun, laugh, like enjoy the people who are around you because enjoy them while they're here.
Yeah, because every level that you're at is an answered prayer, right? So even like right now, like you prayed for times for the business to get to where it is now. Take time to enjoy the fruits of your labor and recognize me present and say, okay, God, thank you for getting me here. I pray for this. You answer that prayer. I have a new prayer now, but I'm going to take time to enjoy being here. I ain't going to sit there for forever, but I'm going to appreciate my time here and understanding where I am now is what I prayed for. And then we're going to elevate some more.
And that's what I'm not good at. Listen, I'm at a space, but I really want to be there. So I've got to work on it. Well, so I am working on it. That's what I said, just having people around you that understand that, because I am one of those. It's like, I reached here, but this is my ultimate goal. Right. So let me keep going. It's time to keep going. But I also do enjoy the building memories, and you can't build memories if all you're ever doing is working. Yeah. So.
Have you ever had to walk away from something good to get to something great?
Yeah. I say the workforce. Like, because of course you think of the workforce, you think of security. Like, oh my gosh, like I know I have a definite paycheck or a, you don't though, right?
Yeah.
Like, because anything can happen. So being willing to say, like, I am going to put my faith in what God has for me and not necessarily build somebody else's dream or somebody else's legacy. Because I guess like my thought is when you are not in a position to where you have a certain level of leadership, it almost feels like you have no say, right? So not saying that it would have to be necessarily my business, because honestly, as a consultant, I build other people's businesses. But being able to have an impact beyond just doing a repetitive task, I needed to step away from a 9 to 5 to be able to do that. So that was my, like, hey, like, that's good, because I know what my money's gonna look like every month, every week. I know when I'm getting paid. I know exactly how much is coming. Like, I know it. They're paying part of my insurance. They're matching 401k. You know what I'm saying? Like, to being able to say, like, listen, like, you're gonna have to pay your own insurance. You may have to do your own investments for 401k or whatever type of IRA or whatever you're gonna get. You have to hustle and bustle to do that piece, but it definitely was worth it. So, what about you?
I forgot what the question was.
Did you ever have to let go of something good to get something great?
Oh, I mean, yeah, COVID taught us that. Like you said, you never, even with the regular job, you never know when it's going to end and for what reason it's going to end. I mean, I could argue that even in my past relationships, I've had to let go of something that was just good to get to something greater. And even though I'm not where I want to be as far as being married to my dream man right now, I also realized that whether it was my relationships or just even friendships or situationships that didn't serve me, I had to let go of something that was holding me back and not serving me so I could ultimately get to where I want to go. Now, there might be time in between there where it's like, okay, I have nothing, but I'm also not doing something that's just holding me back and keeping me stagnant either. And that's very important, because it doesn't always look like, oh, I got rid of this, now I'm here. Sometimes it looks like I got rid of this and this was taken away, and then I have a while in between here where I have nothing. But I have God, and I have myself, and I'm making progress, and I'm growing. And then over here is where, you know what I'm saying, I get what I want. So, yeah, I think our whole lives have been a series of letting go of something good to get to something great.
And sometimes letting go of something that really isn't so good, but you settled for.
Exactly. That too.
I had to go there, but all right. So because we're moving away from the topic on here and doing the life balance topic, I'm going to ask about dating.
Okay.
So because we are leaders in our careers, leaders in our lives, we have different challenges than we had when we were younger in terms of dating. What would you say is the biggest challenge right now with dating based on our options?
Well, I'll say that, and I hate to sound my age, but the addition of social media has made dating more challenging, right? Because people can be sneakier. They can be less honest than they would have been before. And it allows one person or one mindset to infiltrate and influence a whole mass of people and change how socially we see things as acceptable. So I understand that. So that's definitely a big challenge. I would also say, just in that same mindset of like being more aware of things mentally and emotionally, just letting go. Like, I don't tolerate the same things I did at 40 that I did at 20. I'm not excited by the same things at 20. Like, at 20, somebody would have been like, I want you to have my baby, be my wife. I would have been like, okay. At 40, when they did that, I'm like, get out my face. I don't want no more kids. I'm not even sure if I want to be married to you. Like, but it's not to say I don't want to be married to anybody, but nowadays, and it's so funny because I get people who match with me, like, we're both on dating sites, and people will like see my picture and be like, oh, you're going to be wifey. That doesn't excite me. Like, you just saying I'm going to be, that doesn't excite me, because you probably saying it to everybody. So yeah, just little things like that just don't excite me anymore. Just somebody throwing that wifey title around, because you can be throwing it around to anybody. Like, it just doesn't excite me anymore. So the biggest challenges for me would probably be getting out of my own way, and just looking at things through my, not always negative, but just like my perception of, you probably doing this, and this is what I want, and you definitely probably don't align to it. And just being open to letting somebody come in and try and love me the right way. That's a challenge for me.
I don't think it's a challenge because of what we have available to us.
Yeah.
So I would say my biggest thing is leadership, right? So I found some new challenges now as I navigate through success. So you think first it's like, hey, I want someone who can provide and whatever. Yes, I do, right? And though I do have a decent income of my own, I still want someone who can provide.
Yeah.
But then now you don't just challenge. So you have one side where it's like, I can be okay with the fact that he probably can't provide, but he's probably going to mooch. Or you balance the guy who wants to provide but wants you to now minimize yourself.
Yeah.
Like, because they don't want you to seem successful, or they don't. So, and that's not all men. So you guys, I'm not men bashing. I'm just talking about some experiences I've been through. If I haven't been through it, I wouldn't say it.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't only now balance the fact of, oh, you're a deadbeat and you don't have this and you don't have that. But I do have it. Oh, you got too much. You're too ambitious and you're too. So like, what? So I'm also really big on leadership, right? Like, so nowadays we are engulfed in a world full of the male specimen of princesses. So it's like, I want someone who will allow me to be the leader and will allow me, but if I follow your lead, it will be inconsistent. Yeah. It will be unintentional. So like, my thought is like, oh, well, you're like, I tell you what they say, well, it feels like I'm chasing you, or no, but let's be real about it. If I always have to reach out to you, then I'm taking the lead. And then when I continue to take the lead, it's going to be an issue. So you lead, show me that you are intentionally trying to talk to me, and I will follow your lead. Yeah. So, like, I want someone who's willing to say, hey, I want this, and shows me they want it, and I'm going to follow the lead of you wanting it, as opposed to me having to keep on, good morning, hey, boo, hey, love, hey, and then you get an attitude because I'm taking the lead. Yeah. Like, if I'm going to start off leading, I'm going to continue leading. If you want me to follow you, then give me something to follow. Yeah. Be intentional in your actions. Be intentional in your effort. And then when you're intentional in your actions and your effort, you're showing me that I can follow your intentionality. Yeah.
And trust it.
Yeah, exactly. But if you want me to always, like, I hate this with a passion when people say, you haven't called me all day. You haven't called me either. Like, so if it's an issue that I haven't called you, but you haven't called me, then where's the real issue? So it's like, if you thought about it, because more than likely, if I didn't call you all this, I was working, right? But if you thought about it enough to say that I didn't do it, it means you thought about it all day. You was looking at your phone. She still ain't called me. She still ain't text me. She still ain't. So then why didn't you pick up and text me? Why didn't you pick up? Right, exactly. Now, I'm one, and I get transparency is not across the board. I am one that if I'm not interested, I will say, listen, I'm not interested. I don't. And I would expect someone to do the same to me. Yeah. But if I have not said that to you, now if I'm just not replying to anything you say ever, it's been like a couple of, okay, I get it. But like, see, people are so worried about, I don't want to sweat you and I don't want to, that it could be two people who really are good for each other because nobody's trying to be the one to reach out. It's all these missed opportunities. Like, I just feel like that's so stupid.
And I'm also one where I believe, if you really like me like that, you should be inspired to do what comes naturally anyway. And if it's something that you really want, you're going to pursue it. If you really wake up one day and you're like, I want McDonald's today, ain't nothing going to stop you from getting McDonald's when you really crave it and you want it. I want somebody who craves me that way. I don't want somebody who's like, McDonald's might be good, but I could go for Burger King or I can go for Arby's. Like, I ain't really tripping about it if I don't get it. No, I want it to be a craving of, I have to have McDonald's. Nothing and no one is going to stop me from getting to McDonald's today. And I want to be that McDonald's. If you don't feel that way or you ain't inspired to feel that way about me, I'm not the one for you, and I'm okay with that. Yeah. Because if that's how I feel about you, that's what I'm going to show you. I feel like men do what comes naturally for the woman they feel the most natural to do it for. So if you ain't calling me, if you ain't planning dates, if you ain't excited to see me, you don't feel that way about me. That's not something I want you to grow to do. You should just feel that.
Do it or you don't. And it's okay if you don't. If you don't, keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? And be okay that I'm keeping it moving. But if, like, you're not being intentional in your actions and your effort, but then you want me to like, what?
Yeah.
Like, so I don't know. So I think that is some of the biggest challenges, is that there's a new makeup, and I think social media has a lot to do with that too. There's a new makeup of the way that people interact with each other. Like, even like the social, like the dating apps, like, oh, I don't ever get on here, or you swipe yes to. I just feel like people like swiping. I'm starting to feel like it's not about, you're not on a dating app to meet anybody. You're on a dating app to look at pictures and swipe. Yeah. Like, that's it. And then after you swipe, that's it. Like, so why even be on there? Mm-hmm. Like,
because they kill me when they match with you and then go, well, I'm not on here like that. Yes, you are. We're all on here. What do you mean you're not on there? Right. Now you don't want to carry a conversation? Then what'd you swipe on me for?
And then worst, can I have your number? As soon as we meet, no, I don't know you like that. Well, if I met you in person, then I would ask for your number. Okay, if we met in person, I would fill you out first. I would have a conversation with you first. Yeah. And then if I felt led to, I'd give it to you. You wouldn't just come up and say, let me have your number, and then walk away. Yeah. Because my answer would be no. Talk to me, yeah. Right, my answer would be no. Yeah. So I don't know. I feel like the effort nowadays is so, like, small. Like, if there's any at all. And then it's left to the women. Like, you guys aren't, so since you're not doing it, we're not gonna. Like, yeah. I don't know. Like, so at that point, I'm good. Yeah. Like, I don't know.
Do you think it's become easier or harder to find that balance now that we're 40, pushing 40?
38.
Your birthday's in like 2 weeks.
38.
But do you feel like it's harder now as we're older to find that balance than it was in our 20s, and why?
The balance in terms of dating?
Just finding balance in life, dating included.
I think no. I think it's a little bit easier to find balance now, because before I had to be everything for my kids as a single mom for most of their life. Now it's like, they ain't worried about me. So if anything, I'm more like trying to make sure we still have time that we're spending together and all that. And I have the availability to be able to say, hey, I'm going to do this, or I'm taking time to spend on me, because I don't have to so much worry about, are they going to be okay? They can fend for themselves. They can cook for themselves. My son has a car. My daughter has her own place. If Kizzy needs something, she's going to let somebody know. Yeah. So I feel like it's a lot easier now. Now, do I always take advantage of it is the thing. Probably not. I'm working on that. Yeah. But I definitely feel like it's a lot easier now that we're older, and because I know myself. So as I get to know myself, I realize what I need. Where before, my goal was just to be everything for everybody. When you start to realize you have to be something for yourself to be something for somebody else, you start to learn how to balance that, in my opinion. What are your thoughts?
I actually agree. I do think it's a little bit easier now, which is another reason why I'm just like, I don't want any more kids. Like, I don't want to start over. Because once you get to a point where everybody's kind of secure in who they are, they know how to get what they need, they know how to communicate. It's like you don't want to go backwards to have somebody depend on you 24/7. I feel like now I have space to find myself. I have space and freedom to find that balance, to do things that make me happy outside of considering who I am as a mother. Like, even though Sage is 9, mentally Sage is like 13, 14, right? Like, she's to be the baby of the family, she's way ahead in, like, mentally of her years. So the space to be like, who am I outside of being their mom? When I was 20, I couldn't even consider that. I had Sage when I was like early 30s. So for a large part of my life, I couldn't even consider who I was outside of being somebody's mom, somebody's fiance, somebody's wife, somebody's, just something for somebody else. Now I have the space to do that, which allows me to create a balance of, this is what I'm going to say no to. This is what I absolutely will not do again. This is what I'm open to. This is what I want to do. Before, I couldn't even say what I wanted to do because everything involved, I got to consider them. I got to consider how it's going to affect this. I got to consider that if I try and take a vacation to somewhere for a week, I got to either find a babysitter or bring them with me. And are they going to have fun? And how much is it going to cost to travel extra with kids and do things that they like? And am I really going to relax because there's nobody to help me with them? I don't have to do that as much anymore. So I'm definitely enjoying this stage of my life way more. Not that my kids were a burden, but I'm just enjoying getting back to myself. Just me.
That brings me to a little bit of a controversial question. Okay, so I've been seeing a lot of Instagram posts about the moms who heard that the husband was about to leave and just left the kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or the dads who went to get custody and got the kids, and now the moms are doing bare minimum, like what we've been used to or accustomed to. Not all y'all, but what we've been accustomed to.
Yeah.
Or the mom saying, "Hey, like I don't want the kids back, right? I wanna be the part-time parent." What is your thoughts on that? And was there ever a time as your kids were growing up that you felt like guilty because you needed or wanted to do for you?
Yeah. I mean, like I said, when Pinky and Shane, because they had the same dad when they were younger, maybe like 3 summers out of their whole lives, since we've been separated, they would go with their dad. And people would always go, "What are you gonna do when your kids aren't there? You got all this time to yourself." Back then, I would just be like, "I'm gonna sleep. I'm gonna work harder. I'm gonna spend more time at work. I'm gonna get more hours. I'm gonna get all the overtime I can. I'm gonna work." Now that they're grown, they're 20 and 16, and Sage is 9, and she goes back to Ohio with her dad for the entire summer. Now I'm like, I'm gonna do whatever the hell I want. I'm not necessarily gonna spend more time doing work. I might go out, and have more drinks and just relax more, sleep in more, like whatever that means for me to feel at peace and comfortable. I'm absolutely gonna do it. Yes, there were times when Pinky and Shane were younger. I would be like, you know what? Because there was a period when I first moved back here that he tried that whole thing of me and my new wife is gonna take the kids and this, that, and the other. No, you're not. You're not. I just knew that wasn't gonna happen. He even tried the whole thing. We'll pay you to leave us alone. Okay, just make sure you spell my name right on the check. Like I don't. What are we even talking about? But there were times where I used to be like, okay, it would just help me out so much, especially with Shane, because I realized as a woman, there's certain things I can't teach my son. He needs to learn from his dad. So even when it came time for me to send Shane with his dad, when I tried to, it wasn't so much of I don't want to be a parent anymore. It's I feel like we've hit a wall as far as what I can teach him and what I can expose him to. He's got to learn from you now. I can't do any more than what I'm already doing. He has to learn it from you. But with Pinky, it was never that, obviously, because she was a girl. But yeah, there was a time where if I could have been like, okay, you take them for a while. Let me just send you money every now and then, and they just call me on the weekends and stuff like that, just so I can get a break. I would have absolutely taken it. I don't. At this age now, I feel like I'm lucky that Sage is so mature that I don't even have to think about that. Because even now, when she goes for the summer, she still calls me all the time. Like every day, she's calling me. She wants to just sit on the phone and she do her drawing and her painting, and we just sit there and not even talk, but just be in each other's presence. So I don't feel the need anymore to be disconnected. But yes, there was a time where if I could have been like, all right, everybody go with their daddies and leave me alone, I absolutely would have jumped on it, and I wouldn't have felt bad about it.
Yeah. So I will say that's a tough one for me. There was one time when they were little that I was just like overwhelmed, and I didn't ask to send them with their dad. I think I asked my dad, and he was like, "April, the fact that you're asking this, I could tell you're at your wit's end. You don't ask nobody for nothing." But I was overwhelmed. It was just like I can't. The one time that I did actually leave them with their dad that was without me is when I left to the military. But I still, most of my check went to him, so they could be taken care of. I think he stopped working at the time. I had a house that was in my name for them to live in, so I still kind of did everything. But then the issue is like my kids are pretty predictable. Like they're respectful. They listen to their mom. They know like the fear of mom's wrath. Like my kids went amok. Like I started getting letters when I was in basic. Talk about Ariel. Talk about she's running away. Like my kids were amok. I'm like, what is happening to my kids? Like even times that I would talk to them, it's like they were going through it. And so I'm just like, I would tell him all the time because he'd be like, "Oh, it's easy. I can take care of kids. I remember he sent me a letter. He said, "April, you know how you used to say like it's different when you actually have to be the only one do." He says, "You were right. Like these kids are bad." But like, and he wasn't handling it very gracefully. Like even now, I mean, like you know how much him and the son get into an argument. Like it's not graceful at all. Like not graceful at all. So I guess the only part that's like I couldn't give them up fully is like if they did not have me, knowing just within those 9-10 months of me being gone, what happened.
Yeah.
My kids would be somebody different. I even know, and you probably know them, and I won't want to say the name out loud, but my mom had a friend growing up, and I'm just going to say the dad's name. His name was Kirk, and his wife died. And they had, like, so much going on in terms of, like, when she was alive. When she passed, their kids went.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? So, like, I wouldn't want that to be, and I'm not saying all men are like this, you guys, so please don't take it that way. But there's a certain level of a good mother, not all mothers, good mothers that keep a household together. Just like there's a good father that keeps a household together. So I don't know if I could say, now saying I need a break, yeah, give me a break.
Yeah.
Because even times that he would come into town and he'd be like, yeah, I'm going to come hang out with the kids. You're at my house. Can you take them?
Like, get them away from me.
Right, because while they're here, they're still, mom. Do you see your dad there?
Yeah.
Like, so just take them for a week, weekend, a day. Like, but I couldn't have gotten rid of them the entire time, because then if I did and their life turned out a way, that's on me. Yeah. Like, because you had a choice to make a difference and you didn't choose to make that difference. But I definitely feel like breaks. Yeah. Because you still got to have your sanity to be able to do that every day. Yeah. So, but again, I don't know what position other women are in. I do see the very unfairness of, man, I'm about to be left alone. Yeah. To do this. While he's going to go live his life. He's going to do the bare minimum. And it shouldn't be anybody who leaves the kids, right? But somebody does. So who's going to take the burden? So it is a tough one. It's a tough one. It's like I can relate, but then there's the part that's like I couldn't do it. Yeah. But I can relate. But I can see the, like, you took your power, sis. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But it's like, I don't know. I couldn't have done that route.
Yeah. And we just talked about this on the way over here, too, because there's a young guy that I've been talking to, and he doesn't have any kids, and he's a little bit younger than me. And I know he wants kids. So I'm like, do I go into this knowing that he might resent me later? Because I definitely don't want more kids. Because as much as I'm saying, like, yeah, I would love to have a break. And, you know, at a certain point in my life, I would have been fine with being like, go with them, I'm done. At this point, like you said, it falls on us. I wouldn't feel comfortable walking away and going, I'm just putting my child in your hands. I don't want anything to do with it. I don't want it. Because I know how I felt, how Pinky and Shane felt, not having their dad there. Fortunately, Sage's dad is very active. He's very present. Like, he's calling every day. She goes with him for the summer. She goes for Christmas breaks. Like, he's very, very present, even though he's in Ohio, we're in Florida. That's never been an issue from day one. So he didn't take the approach of, oh, I'm going to live my best life and just, you know what I'm saying, whatever. Like, no, he's still like, that's my baby. I'm active. I'm present. I appreciate that. But with somebody new, it's like, I don't know how you're going to be. I would, even at 40, I wouldn't feel comfortable going, if we break up, you taking the kid. I'm still going to be like, no, my baby's staying home with me. I know, and this is a thing, transparent moment. I didn't always want kids, right? So my mom had her 3. Then her and my stepdad started adopting babies because she couldn't have any more when they got married, and he wanted a newborn. He didn't have any. So they adopted kids, a 3-month-old and then a 1-year-old, and then their mom just kept having kids. So they just kept sending us all these flipping kids. And it just became a lot. So growing up and all that, and being the oldest girl, a lot of the responsibility fell on me. So growing up in that, like, once I was like, I don't want no kids. Like, I just want to go out and live my life. I don't want to be responsible for nobody else, no pets, no kids, no nothing. I'm going to just do me. So once Pinky came, he was like, all right, you know what I'm saying, now I'm passionate about this. She's mine. She was given to me. I'm passionate about it. I'm going to take care of her. And then we agreed to have Shane. Again, it's mine. I'm going to take care of her. But I didn't necessarily want kids. So there was a point where the choice would have been easy. I didn't even want this to begin with. So go ahead and take them and just let me live my life and just figure out who I am outside of being a caretaker. Because I've been raising kids since I was 11 years old. I didn't want to keep doing it. So now I'm at a point where it's like, I'm so invested in this and worried about how my kids are going to turn out that I wouldn't be okay with just being like, well, you know, you take this one. I'm done raising kids. If we split up, now you take this one. No, I want to be there for my baby. Yeah. So it's, I mean, unfortunately, death would have to do his part and I'd have to get rid of you. But I wouldn't want that though. But yeah, I don't know that as much as I don't want to do it, I don't think I'm in a space anymore where I can just walk away.
So talking about balance, we talked about dating. We talked about children. How do you balance I want to say business and your relationship with God, and personal life and your relationship with God. Because, and I know this is something you've dealt with, and even me, like, you do have expectations as a believer, right? And you have things that you should be striving to live as. Yeah. But then you have single, you have sex, you have work, and then you have morals that fall under, So how do you balance being who you are as a believer, as well as balance that personal space and the business space?
So it is funny because April knows I'm going through a situation with a guy who's very he's refamiliarizing himself with Christ. So his relationship is very intense and strict and Christ driven, right? And so for us who grew up in church, I'm just not at that point in my life where everything has to be so by the book, and I don't hold myself to such harsh standards when it comes to my relationship with God. So I give myself grace. It is not that I don't mean grace in the sense of, I'll just mess up and it'll be all right. God will forgive me. Not grace like that. In any relationship, I'm intentional. I spend time with God. I pray. I fellowship with other believers, even if it's just like me and you, and we talking and we praying, stuff like that. It don't have to be a big church gathering, but I am more secure in my relationship with God now as a 40-year-old than I was 20 years ago. I'm more grounded in my relationship and the balance of, okay, God, I understand what it is you require of me. I understand how I'm going to walk in that and still honor your will. But at the same time, I understand the balance of, that doesn't mean I got to listen to gospel music all day long. I can still listen to Beyonce and I can still twerk and just enjoy my life. You know what I'm saying? But that doesn't mean that I'm any further away from you. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's where a lot of people get it twisted, especially when you're rededicating your life back to Christ. Everything is so intense, and it's well, you can't do this, and you can't be here, and you can't listen to this music, and you can't do this. And it's but there's nowhere in the Bible where God says you can't do, you know what I'm saying, you can't listen to this type of music, and you can't be this, and you can't be that. I feel like people get so convoluted with the idea of what they think God wants from us than actually talking to him and asking him, what do you desire from me? How do you desire I walk with you? How do you desire that I align with your will? It's to me anyway. This is just to me. Have the conversation. Spend time in his presence. Spend time talking with him to understand what he wants for your life. Don't base it all on what you think he wants based on what you read in the book. You will get it wrong every time. Nobody can live up to that standard of 24/7. I'm perfectly aligned and I'm never doing anything wrong. Nobody can. Yeah. So, it's a personal thing. Your relationship with God is a personal relationship, and you have to nurture it the same way you do every other relationship in your life.
If you look at church, or you look at your relationship with God as your appearance in church, I go to church every Sunday. The pastor says this, and this is what I do. Then you are really limiting your relationship with God. Your relationship with God goes far beyond that. If it's only based on church and it's only based on what the pastor says, then when the people who are on a hospital bed and can't make it to church, then what happens to them, right? When we went through COVID and nobody could go before they realized they could do it on the computer, what happens to them, right? Yeah. It's really about your personal relationship, your personal connection, right? He gives us shepherds through pastors and apostles and all that to give us guidance. But that guidance is for a whole church of people who are going through a whole bunch of different things, right? So it's going to look different to different people. Just like when we read the Bible, I may read the same verse as her, and it means something totally different to me than it does to her, because it's meant to be that way. It's no one size fits all shoe, right? It's about guidance. It's guiding you in directions, but also understand that it also says in that same book that none of it can be earned. You can't earn none of that. You can't earn his grace. You can't earn his mercy. You can't earn his love, no matter what you do, right? No one's ever perfect. And even if you decide to be perfect from now to the end of your life, you went all the rest of your life where you wasn't perfect anyway. So you still didn't beat Jesus. Yeah. So, he's giving you grace because he loves you. He's giving you grace because you are his child. So realizing that even in this world, he gives you this whole world to experience. And that doesn't mean go be doing stuff out of nowhere, right? Even through all of it, realizing that love is the biggest thing. He said you can do everything else. If you don't love, then none of that other stuff matters. So live life, love people genuinely. Yeah. Not saying I love people so I treat them bad because they deserve it, because I love them and I want to show them the way. No, love people genuinely through their flaws, through all of those things, because that's what he loves us through ours, right? We all deal with lust. We all deal with if you don't need more, you have before. Yeah. We all deal with sin. We all deal with regret. We all deal with all of these different things. Just realize that at the end of the day, like, he's giving you permission to be you. Strive for goodness, for greatness. Love people. Like, I know I'm flawed. Yeah. I am too. But I love, genuinely love. And when I struggle to love, I ask him to help me to love like him. And we're never going to. The goal is to continue to strive to love like he does. Yeah. And I feel like that's the balance. I will say there was a point where I would date somebody even if they didn't have a relationship with God. I'm not in that space anymore. I went through a whole sickness where my husband didn't know how to pray for me. So I accept anybody who you are, where you are, in terms of like my fellowship with you and talking to you and being friends with you or whatever. But in terms of like who I want to share my life with, you have to know the power of Christ. Yeah. And know what it's like to pray. Because I'm going to pray for you. I want you to pray for me. Yeah. I want him to be the center of our relationship. So that's important. But then also, even as somebody who's a believer, I want my kids to see me flawed. Them seeing my flaws and realizing that I don't have it all gives them permission to know that they have it. They have that permission and that God loves them anyway. Yeah. I know my daughter my oldest went through a period where she was reconnecting and she felt like she had to hide everything she did bad and she condemned herself. It's like, girl, quit. You're doing more than he even want. Like he wants you to do better, but you sitting here and feeling like every little thing you do, and he's sitting here like getting ready to crack a whip. Like you stressing him out. Yeah. Like stop. So.
And you know it's funny because everybody's relationship with God looks different, right? And God know how He made you. Like I'm a very sarcastic, like smart ass type person, and that's even in my relationship with God. But if I didn't feel so secure in our relationship, I would be like, oh God, I can't say that. Like I literally. Just recently, like I said, Pinky and Shane are in Georgia visiting their dad, and she called me last night or whatever, and she was going off about something that happened, whatever, and I had to go and pray because I'm like, all right, God, you know I hate that funky bastard, but I just, you know what I'm saying, I want her to get to a place of healing. So I still talk to God and say, you know what I'm saying, my smart ass comments, and I say things that are just like, people will be like, oh my God, you said the N-word to God. Yes, I did, because he know I hate that nigga. Like, he know, like, but that's how I talk to him. So my relationship with God and how we talk to each other may not look like yours. Doesn't mean I'm living in sin or I'm a bad person. It just looks differently because that's just who we are to each other. But that comes with a closeness and an understanding. The same in my relationship with her. Like, I know she don't like to be called bitch. Like, how some females can talk and be like, ooh, bitch. Like, she don't like that. I don't necessarily like that, but I know some women who are like, that makes us feel close. Like, it's a sister thing. Okay, I get it. I'm not offended when you say it because I understand it. But I also know I can't do that with her. I've cultivated my relationship with God to where I understand that we can have a certain type of conversation. I can say things and it not be like I'm disrespecting him. I'm operating out of his will. That's just how we talk.
And then understand if he wants that to change, he'll lead you to it. Yeah. Like he is all powerful. All powerful. So whether you want to or not, when it's time to be like, all right, that's enough. Yeah. He's going to let you know. Yeah. So, I mean, like, I promise sometimes I know I get on his nerves. Well, I won't say I know. He loves me. If he didn't love me as much as he does, I know I would get on his nerves. So, because I'm comical. But I think he's comical. He be doing some stuff. I'd be like, Lord, you up there laughing. I know you up there laughing because I know you didn't intend on that to happen and think that it wasn't like. But yeah, so I think that's the balance, is realizing that the expectations that the world puts on what it looks like to be a believer and to love Christ, you have to build your own expectations. You have to build your own relationship. As long as you love people and you want to do good by people, like.
Yeah, and sometimes because we are human, we put those expectations on ourselves, and it's just not realistic. Take a step back. God, for all his greatness and all his marvels and mercy, and he is serious, and you know he don't play about his people. I do believe, and this is my personal belief, there is a part of God that's like, you take me more seriously than I am. You know what I'm saying? When we're starting wars in his name and we're pillaging and, you know what I'm saying, destroying community and all that stuff in his name, it's like, he didn't call, like, that's not what he's about. Like, he's not He's not that serious for you to be like, I'm doing this in the name of God. Like, come on now. Like, these standards that we hold ourselves to sometimes, if I gotta be perfect, I gotta walk like this. He's not that serious, you guys. Like, it's really not that serious. Mm-hmm. He doesn't hold us to those high expectations that we put on ourselves, thinking we have to do that to meet him there.
Mm-hmm. All right, so I want to thank you guys for tuning in to this episode of Sessions with Coach April, and we will see you next time.
Bye.